I've heard people say that.
I'm JT, Technology Manager of Home Entertainment here at Sony Electronics with our brand new line of Bravia projectors. So one reason for the name change is they're really integrating with our home entertainment lineup for Cinema is Coming Home. This is to help you understand that we're not only in the game of Sony pictures, we have certain web-slinging superheroes, some diabolical boys over on Amazon Prime, but we've become one of the technological powerhouses of cinema. Our Venice cinema camera has been used on major motion picture productions, Avatar, Wavewater, Top Gun Maverick, Shogun, Masters of the Air, hundreds of others. Our BVM production monitors are absolutely everywhere in color mastering houses. So we have a very good understanding of the signal coming into your home theater, your projector, your TV, your audio system. So with these two new projectors, adopting that Bravia naming convention, they really fit in with the Bravia Projector 9, the Bravia 9 flagship mini LED that just won King of TVs, and as well the Bravia Theater Bar 9, our flagship soundbar. So these two new models versus their predecessors have upped in brightness. The Projector 8 is now up to 2,700 lumens. The Projector 9 is now up to 3,400 lumens. But the biggest change you're going to notice is thanks to the new processor on board. So the XR processor powers our flagship TVs. The A95L QD OLED just won the King of TV shootout for OLED TVs. The Bravia 9, also using the same processor, won the King of TV shootout for mini LED. Now we're really excited to have a custom tuned version in here for projection, because projectors do have some challenges versus TVs. They don't have the deep black and the extreme brights as a modern flagship TV, so we need to apply some pretty dramatic tone mapping so you see the same experience on your projection screen that those creators saw in their studio in Hollywood. So that new feature set with this new XR processor for projector is called Pro Cinematic HDR. We're introducing XR dynamic tone mapping, which does scene by scene, frame by frame tone mapping. We also have XR Deep Black. It's a new laser light control algorithm for deeper blacks. So the end result, you're going to see deeper blacks, more detail in the shadows, brighter highlights, and more detail in those bright highlights as well, to more perfectly track that amazing BVM reference monitor we make for all the creative pros. Color improvements have also been made with XR Triluminous Pro. We're now looking at over 95% of DCI-P3. And XR Clear Image is our new upscaling engine. Heavy accolades for this upscaling engine in our TVs. We're really excited to bring it into our projectors, because as much as we'd love our clients to be watching nothing but perfect 4K Blu-rays, some amazing Kaleidoscape mezzanine files, the reality is a lot of us are still streaming HD and compressed 4K content. This really helps get the best source material you can for a more detailed image with less noise. We've kept the chassis the same, so they are very easy to install. You're looking at about 14 kilograms each, so very easy to put up into an existing mount. And the other major improvement here is HDMI 2.1, two full bandwidth HDMI 2.1 ports, supporting 4K 120, ALLM, and some amazingly low input lag. At 4K 120, we're measuring just 12 milliseconds, which is normally the territory of some very good TVs. But to have that now on a home theater projector on a 120 to 150 inch screen, it's going to be phenomenal to turn your home theater into that gaming space as well. So really excited for you to check these projectors out. We're looking at some November availability. And pricing as well. The Bravia Projector 8 starting off around $16,000. The Bravia Projector 9 starting in around $31,999.
Hey everyone, Russell with Sony Electronics, Western Technical Sales Manager here. We're here at CEDIA 2024, and I want to show you our BZ53L series Bravia displays. This is on the Pro line of displays. What you're looking at here is we've got two of our 98 inches. We have last year's model versus the improvements we've made this year. Come closer, I'm going to show you kind of what we're talking about here. So, one of the improvements we've made with our BZ53L series is our deep black coating. What this coating is going to do for you is it has anti-glare capabilities, so you can place it in the brightest of rooms. Think of it like a bright living room, maybe it's a conference room, you're getting a lot of glare and that glass look. We took that all away with our new deep black coating. So 98-inch series, it's going to offer all the picture processing you'd expect from Sony, and we're excited to launch that here going forward in 2024. Got a full house. Thank you all for coming. Day 3, we made it. We're here. Welcome to the Bravia Projector Theater Experience. We've built an incredible demo for you here at CEDIA this year. 2 days ago, we just announced 2 brand new projectors to the lineup, the Bravia Projector 8 and the Bravia Projector 9. If you want to see the Bravia Projector 8, we built an insane theater in the lobby. You may have missed it. It's a giant box out there, incredible demos. So check that out if you want to see the Bravia Projector 8. And here we're going to be focusing on the Bravia Projector 9. And what we're looking at, oops, sorry, pardon my injury here. What we're looking at is we've got a 150-inch diagonal. This is a Stewart film screen, Studio Tech 130. It's acoustically transparent. We've got it paired with Focal Utopia speakers. These speakers are their flagship on-wall and in-wall product. We are using an AZ7000 ES receiver to do the processing in the room for the surround sound. Typically, you wouldn't, see a integrated AVR at $3,300 in a system that's hundreds of thousands of dollars. But we're doing it here, right? We're Sony. So we're using this as the processing. We're going out pre-outs into the name amplifiers, and that's what's going to be powering the audio experience for you today. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I want to talk to you about the updates. So in this room, this is pretty unique. I've got two projectors. I've got our last year's XW7000 series projector right next to our Bravia 8, or excuse me, our Bravia Projector 9, the Projector 8 downstairs. It's also known as the XW8100. Super exciting news, guys. We've got some major updates this year. We are brighter. We're sitting at 3,400 lumens. We use our advanced laser system to deliver that brightness, 20,000 hours to half brightness with virtually zero maintenance throughout that time. To put that into perspective, you can watch about a 2-hour movie every single day for the next 32 and a half years until you reach that half-life. In addition to the laser engine, we've also got our new the ACF lens. That's going to be found on the Bravia Projector 8 and the Bravia Projector 9. I'm excited to say we've updated the HDMI ports. We've got HDMI 2.1 capabilities at 4K 120. And for you gamers out there, we also have advanced low latency mode. So we got that ALLM. Early tests, we're finding an incredible response time. So be sure to check out some reviews that are coming in the next few weeks. I think you guys are going to be super stoked about what you're finding there. We've also brought over our live color enhancer from our XW7000 series projector, and we've added 2 new features this year. For those challenging installs, sometimes the projector's placed too far above the screen, right? We've added keystone adjustment. You can adjust all 4 corners if need be. This also helps with an installation if you're using an anamorphic lens. And then we've added 2 additional presets that you can save into the projector. So if you're working with multiple aspect ratios, we've got you covered there. All that aside, here's the big update. The award-winning processor that's found in our A95L and our Bravia 9 TVs, both of which won King of TVs here in 2024, we're using the same XR processor now found for our Bravia projector lineup. This is allowing us to deliver our Pro Cinematic HDR. This is going to feature our XR dynamic tone mapping. So we can now do frame-by-frame tone mapping, delivering perfect color and brightness at the same time. In addition to the tone mapping, I'm going to also show you our XR Deep Black today and some darker scenes. And we wouldn't be Sony without focusing on color. That probably looks familiar. We've got our XR Triluminous Pro and, of course, clarity with our XR Clear Image. Enough about all the details on the screen here. Let me show you it in real time.
Is that lens different than the 7000 lens?
It's the same style. Yeah, same floating focus ACF lens.
Same lens.
Yep. All right, so this first clip I'm going to play for you is a scene from Alpha. I'm just going to back up actually here. This is a scene from Alpha. What's cool about this clip is it was actually mastered at 4,000 nits. As we're seeing a lot more HDR content come to the market, it's being graded and mastered at higher brightness. There we go. Sorry, there's a little delay there. So right now I'm showing you the XW7000 ES projector. Great question on the lens there. This is also used in the ACF lens. Now, with great brightness, if you don't have the proper frame-by-frame tone mapping, you end up with an image that's bright, it's still got good detail, but it's not what the creative intent or the director intended us to see. Watch what happens when I switch to the Bravia 9 in this clip. I'll switch back. So with the Bravia 9, by introducing frame-by-frame tone mapping, we now have all these awesome gradations of color, and we have an image that was the way the director intended to see, right? Do you guys see the detail and the improvements that we've made with the tone mapping this year?
The sun becomes visible.
Yeah.
Now it's almost 100%.
Yeah, exactly. We lose that detail with all that clipping, but when we switch over to the Bravia 9, we now preserve that detail, and you can actually see where the light source is.
User or calibration controls within the dynamic tone mapping in the new 9?
Yes, yeah, there's different modes and presets that you can choose from. I want to just point out in the demos that you're looking at today, these are all out-of-box settings. Okay. So all we've done is we've taken out of the box, we've done a little lens shift, zoom, focus to get it on the screen. But this is what you would expect in a typical install if you just did a basic installation. Of course, we always recommend doing some level of calibration if you can, but if you can't, that's the cool part. Sony's got you covered. You know your customer's going to have a great image. Here's another good scene to kind of pause on that's nice and bright. We're on the XW7000 right now. When I switch to the Bravia Projector 9, not only do we introduce all those nice gradations of color, but we also pick up amazing shadow detail. Here's kind of another scene. I'll just pause quickly and switch back so you can kind of see the differences between the two. So now I'm on the XW7000. I'm going to switch over to the Bravia 9. This is a really tough scene because there's a lot of nooks and crannies in those rocks. Watch how much more three-dimensional it becomes as I switch to the Bravia Projector 9. We pick up some of the white color, and we have a lot more shadow detail. Again, XW7000, and then the Bravia Projector 9. All right, so we wanted to show you the improvements we've made. They are huge this year. We know you're gonna love the new Bravia Projector 9. For these next couple clips, I'm just gonna let them play through. A couple things to just point out here is the amazing color that you're gonna see in this demo. Also, just pay attention to the detail in the actors' faces. This is Bad Boys, if you can't tell. This is the famous jelly bean scene. But again, great color in this scene. The one following this, I'm going to jump immediately to a concert scene. It's going to be a Hans Zimmer concert, and we're going to bring in the full sound experience along with great video. So please enjoy. This is CEDIA. This is Sony. Let's have some fun.
Did you shoot him? I don't think so.
Quite a fun demo room that we have here. We actually have a modular display here that is going to mimic hopefully an OLED TV. By the time we get to it, you'll be sold on that message. And then also we have a very subtle 13-channel Wisdom audio setup as well. This is their Sage Cinema series. So you can actually expand these as large or as tall as you would like. They've done a 30-foot tall screen and a 20-foot wide screen as well, and had the center channel to match the dimensionality there to make sure that we get the soundstage as in line with the display as we can. As you see, this is a modular display. We cannot acoustically pass audio through the screen. So making sure that the soundstage matches the visual, very important here. And how we're also able to do that is with a line source speaker. So this little grill that you see up top, what a line source is able to do is really cut through multiple rows and multiple seating positions to make every seat as best of a seat as possible instead of having that sweet spot. So from a cinema perspective, these are a great matching of technologies to be able to complement each other. Now, on the display itself, 1300 nits of brightness. This also has what's called a deep black coating to help give it that inky OLED black that we're used to seeing on some OLED TVs. And also, Sony's doing all the processing on this demonstration, so there's no outboard video processor. This is all what you get out of the box. And with processing, I want to just take a moment and call out that we actually just won the Value Electronics TV shootout in both mini LED and OLED, and that's a lot to do with that XR processor. And the same story copies over here. We want to make sure that we tailor this type of solution for residential application. We don't want to copy and paste over a commercial video wall application into someone's home because quite frankly, you get nasty color reproduction, you don't get high contrast. So we're really trying to make this a scalable TV as best as possible. Now lastly, since we have such a subtle room, we have equally subtle subwoofers in here. So these are actually two 10-inch active woofers firing inside of this cabinet, being output from a 10 by 10 inch port. So all you need once you get these hidden behind the walls, you only need a 10 by 10 inch port to output the compression that these subs can provide, and we have 4 of these throughout the room. All of the electronics are powered by Wisdom amplifiers and Wisdom digital signal processing, or DSP, and the Sony receiver at the top of the rack is doing the signal processing here. So we'll go ahead and play through on some picture quality demo before we get into the fun audio and visual demos. So this is actual content that you normally will not see on a video wall or modular display. And quite frankly, it's because it will not look like this. The reason why is because we have micro level contrast adjustments that we have to make in a scene like this, where we have super bright areas right next to super dark areas. So what the possibility with Sony is able to do is deliver that 3-dimensionality where a normal video wall would look a little flat here. Because of the amount of contrast curve that we have, a lot of dark with a lot of bright, the darkness tends to mute all of those little building highlights that we're seeing in the lights in those windows. Are y'all getting that 3D effect, that depth effect there? Almost looks computer generated a little bit, doesn't it? What do y'all think? Awesome. I'll take sick. And again, being OLED content, I can show you bright content all day, but all of the content we're going to show here is going to be pretty high contrast because I really want to sell you all on the fact that we can scale OLED picture quality as large as you'd like.
Hello everybody, welcome to CEDIA 2024 in the Wisdom Audio booth. My name is Joe Walters and I'm here going to talk a little bit about what Jordan just got to experience over at the Sony room with the big CLED wall and a full Wisdom 9.44 line source system in that room. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the left and the right channels and all the surround channels. They are a product called the Line 2. This is a line source speaker, it's fully modular, so I can make a line 3, I can make a line 4 just by adding extra modules if I need more height to cover a larger room. Big benefit of line source is that you don't have interactions with the floor and the ceiling, so from an acoustic standpoint you hear a lot more direct sound first and reflected sound second. Much clearer, much more high resolution. And again, like I mentioned, these are modular. They're also bi-amps, so we use our own Wisdom Audio DSP amplifiers to run your low pass and high pass from 2-channel outputs of our amplifiers. So that particular room utilizes Sony AVR, of all things, for the pre-pro, running preamp out into the Wisdom DSP amplifiers, which is where we do all of our calibration, level setting, phase alignment, all that stuff is done inside of our DSP amplifiers. The center channel that we have right here is called the Wisdom HLS. It's a hybrid line source. So that uses actually the line modules on the left and the right, and then we have a point source that's attached in the center. So you get a very good center image, but it's also scalable. So we have line source center channels that we can go, I mean, we've done 20-foot wide video walls that we can build center channels out of this product with. The advantage of this type of a product is that it's direct to the listener. You're not bouncing it off of a screen, so it doesn't matter where you're sitting in the room or in the theater, you're going to get great sound and a very focused center image. For the overhead channels, we use what we call the Sage Series 0.2 V2. So this is a very unique product in that the planar driver, everything that we do has planar magnetic drivers for the high frequencies. This is a point source speaker, so up in the ceiling, we can actually angle this tweeter left, right, up, down to make sure that that sound is always going to hit at the reference listening position to give the best possible, immersive experience no matter what you're listening to at that reference listening position. All these products can be done as an on-wall, as you see here. They can be done as an in-wall, and they're really industrial looking, so they're really designed to be hidden behind a screen, behind scrim cloth, but very versatile, all part of the Sage Cinema series from Wisdom Audio. So this is a brand new SRS subwoofer. It's a dual 10-inch regenerative transmission line sub. So there's actually a transmission line that runs through here and all the way up and back around, where we couple the back wave with the front wave to give you twice as much output. The other big benefit of a regenerative transmission line sub is there's very little cabinet resonances because you're not loading that cabinet with the back wave of the speaker. We utilize the back wave of the speaker. This thing plays 125 dB at 20 hertz, 96 dB efficient. We got 4 different output ports on here, so depending on the application and where it's installed, we can move this vent to anywhere. It's got handles on it, so it's really easy for the text to move, and super high output, doesn't need a lot of power, sounds fantastic, very musical, and again, in the Sony theater that he just experienced, we had 4 of those in there, which gives you very consistent bass in every seat. It doesn't matter where you're sitting in that room, the bass is going to be fantastic. Thanks for CEDIA 2024. I want to thank Jordan for coming around and talking to us a little bit here. You can check us out at wisdomaudio.com, and always remember, it's never too late to calibrate. Never too late to calibrate.com.